About history of CBT. I guess you all know about Ivan Pavlov and Skinner. Ivan Pavlov actually came up with the idea of classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a learning process that happens when we have like two concepts that are coming along together all the way. For example, I'm going to give you a more modern example this time. It's not about dog or ringing a bell. This time is about you. Just imagine you have a partner that you are in love with them. So normally when your phone is ringing, you wouldn't pay attention, like that's crazy to your phone. But when you are having a partner that you love them, whenever your phone is ringing or you're gonna have like a text message notification, you're gonna just jump on your phone, right? So you are just kind of conditioned, classically conditioned to that ring. But imagine if you are going through a breakup and you know that, for example, they wouldn't like message or call you at all, like after 6 months, and you are single. So you wouldn't be that much conditioned toward your phone. I mean, yeah, let the phone ringing. I don't care because no one actually calling me. Probably it's a scam or I don't know, something like that. So this is like the whole idea of classical conditioning. Actually, Pavlov was using classical conditioning in a good way. I mean, I would say a brutal way, because like they were adding some sort of poison to the alcohol for like people with alcoholic alcohol substances. So they were just adding some sort of poison to that alcohol, and people who were like alcoholic, they would just getting extreme nausea and diarrhea and vomiting. So after a point, they would just quit drinking alcohol, which is good for them. But like the treatment is just kind of brutal because I mean it's crazy to just coming up with all those food poisoning symptoms. Another person who actually contributed a lot with CBT was Albert Ellis. He actually came up with the idea of ABC and also rational emotive behavior therapy, which I mean, they're gonna call it like REBT. So the whole idea here is irrational beliefs, they're gonna lead to emotional problems. And it can actually hurt you because you do have some negative feeling. If you could just challenge those negative feeling, you can improve your mental health in a good way. For example, you got a bad grade. Yeah, it is bad to just get a bad grade, right? No one likes that because you're gonna fail. But you are not sad because you are getting failed, or for example, I mean, it's not about you at all. Like you are not sad for the bad grade itself. You are sad because you disappointed others. For example, your parents, your mom, your dad, your big sister. So if you have like that kind of thoughts, it has to be changed because it is like some sort of irrational thoughts. You shouldn't live for anyone but yourself. I mean, from Ellis' perspective. Ellis actually came up with the idea of ABC model. ABC model is just literally just A, B, C. As you can see, A is just activating the event. For example, there's gonna be something out there in the environment that's gonna trigger you. B gonna be belief about the event. For example, you hold a belief, a concept about this event in your head. Then gonna be consequences that sort of belief leads to a specific consequences or emotions. Again, bad grade, you got a bad grade, you feel like you're gonna disappoint your parents, so you're gonna get sad and you're gonna have like all those negative emotion. Okay, you have to stop at some point. Either it's gonna be A, either it's gonna be B or C. Okay, he's the god of CBT. I guess you know him, Aaron T-Beck. You heard his name a lot. I mean, if you took other psychology classes or if you are listening to podcasts, he's like everywhere. I guess he lived like 100 years, seriously. Because like I was in a conference, it was like before pandemic, and no, it was in the pandemic because it was online. So when I saw his name over there, I was like, I mean, he should be like 100 years. So yeah, but he's not alive now. So yeah, the way actually Beck worked on CBT, it was just based on 5 different steps. As you can see here, first of all, we're gonna have awareness and identification. So your therapist actually help you to just identify those kind of automatic thoughts and recognize the relationship between thoughts, emotion, and behavior. Second step gonna be evaluation of thoughts. Again, your therapist is gonna teach you to just actually evaluate those automatic thoughts critically and just understand that how those bad thoughts can just impact you. Then you're gonna do cognitive restructuring, in which your therapist again guides you to challenge and modify those kind of negative behavior and replace them with just something like more balanced at least, or more correct. Because like when it comes to ourselves, we are just very judgmental. I mean, I do have this problem about myself. I bet so many people out there, they do have the same problem. So first of all, we have to just modify and adjust those thoughts, or we have to just challenge them. Okay, if you are that much critical about yourself, you have to just challenge it in different way to just see if that sort of feeling is just, relevant, is correct or not. The fourth step gonna be behavioral experiment, in which you're gonna actually be engaged in different experiments and test the validity of your thoughts, and you just try to see if those assumptions, they are just correct and applicable on like different situation. And at like the very last step gonna be skill training. So like before, you wouldn't have like any sort of a specific skill training. First of all, you have to just monitor yourself, self-monitoring, that we talked about it. The last one gonna be a skill training. So at the very end, your therapy is gonna teach you how to do problem solving and do other strategies to cope with different challenges. For example, if you have like, I don't know, if you have a problem with your parents, like with your mom or someone, and she gonna trigger you all the way, you have to just go through all these steps to just see what is actually the problem, like monitor yourself, evaluate yourself and all that. And right after that, you're gonna get some training to just do that. While you are just very active in this therapy, you cannot do that without the help of your therapist. You have to just be supervised for every step. So we already talked about classical conditioning and Pavlov. There is another way of conditioning that comes with a Skinner. Actually, Skinner actually discovered this kind of conditioning. So it's gonna be like either like reinforcing a behavior or punishing a specific behavior. Your book actually did a good job in just explaining them. So just read that, because I guess you all know about this. So I'm gonna skip that. Another way of learning gonna be modeling. Modeling is just literally whenever you are just looking at someone else to just model a good or a bad behavior. If you are actually idolizing someone who is very good, it's gonna be good for you because you are trying to just perform that kind of good behavior. But if you are actually idolizing someone just, I don't know, with a nasty attitude, so probably you're gonna go after that as well. So social skills and relaxation training. Social skills training is just very important because whenever, for example, just imagine you have social anxiety, there are some methods and there are some people that will just help you to just deal effectively with that kind of social anxiety. For example, if you don't like public speaking, or if you are getting nervous whenever you have to just do a lecture, there are like some people like specialized in like that kind of training that can help you. Relaxation training is just very important as well. Yeah, it's just important as well. It's actually basically deep breathing and muscle relaxation. Um, I'm not a big fan of relaxation training, to be honest, but I know it is very helpful for so many people. But especially whenever you are just, kind of panicking about something, like deep breathing can just help you a lot.